links in the description. I'm going to be going through about half of the article. There's still a fairly good amount of details left in the article that I'll not be going over. Should you wish to read through that in your own good time. Trigger warning: this does involve the death of a child, a beautiful young boy, 6 years of age, Arthur Labinjo-Hughes. This boy here, and this is a current court case in the United Kingdom. The biological father and his partner, his lady partner, are both accused of murdering young Arthur, as well as torturing him. And in this article, it's going to give some details about the turmoil, the torture, the hardship that Arthur was allegedly subjected to. So, a very thorough trigger warning. And as it is a current ongoing case, there are a number of articles. I read through one the other day about this situation, and it is dreadful. It is awful. So we'll start with the headline. Wicked father, 29 years of age, bought himself ice cream as he made 6-year-old Arthur Labinjo-Hughes stand still in a fluffy onesie on a baking hot day. So he was tortured, seemingly, allegedly, in a number of different ways. One of them was by making him wear a fluffy onesie on a baking hot day and standing by a window for up to 14 hours a day. I think we're going to read, of course, I need to say allegedly. A wicked father bought himself an ice cream as he made his 6-year-old son stand still in a fluffy onesie on a baking hot day. Thomas Hughes, the father, 29 years of age, subjected the boy, Arthur Labinjo-Hughes, to a persistent campaign of cruelty and relished in his distress, a jury was told. Hughes, the father, admitted applying pressure to Arthur's neck using techniques learned from watching videos about police brutality in America. Hughes, the father, also tricked Arthur into the car by pretending he was going to visit his grandparents, a place where the boy had felt safe, but then they never went. Another act of cruelty. Arthur, who was found with 125 areas of bruising on his body, died of an unsurvivable brain injury on June the 16th last year, after allegedly being murdered while alone with Hughes's partner, Emma Chustin. Prior to his death, the child was allegedly poisoned with salt, deprived of food and water, and made to stand in a hallway alone, as well as sleeping on the floor. The prosecutor said that Hughes, the father, was an utterly ruthless, unthinking, and pitiless father who struck Arthur over and over and over again and threatened to take his head off to use as a football. Hughes, the father, admitted buying ice creams for himself and his girlfriend, while Arthur was forced to stand by a glass-framed door in a fluffy onesie during a heatwave. Detailing the abuse the child suffered, the prosecutor told the court that Arthur was segregated in a hallway and made to stand for 14 hours a day for a month and a half before his death. So this happened during the lockdown period, during which time he wasn't attending school. The school, I read in another article, the school had contacted the family, and essentially, allegedly, the father lied to the school and said that the boy, Arthur, had a cold and that he was looking to go back to school, but he wasn't quite well enough. seemingly all lies. This was in the midst of Arthur's torture. So again, going back to the article, the father, Hughes, admitted to, on one occasion, buying ice creams from a passing van for himself and his girlfriend, while Arthur was isolated in a hallway. The prosecutor said, "You, hearing the ice cream van, went out of the house past Arthur and went and bought 2 ice creams. When you came back, you opened the door and you went past Arthur holding your ice creams, didn't you? Here you both are. Is that not you displaying total contempt for your son?" So I'm just going to comment on that. I mean, in some ways, and I don't mean my words to be offensive, in some ways, this aspect here, buying the ice creams, pales into insignificance compared to the other suffering that Arthur was subjected to, including being forced to consume 6 teaspoons of salt, allegedly, 125 areas of bruising, and having his head slammed on the ground, allegedly. So, in some sense, in some regard, not being given an ice cream is kind of trivial in comparison. But at the same time, as I think the prosecutor is arguing and showing the jury, at the same time, it shows utter contempt to the child, and that has to be considered really gross mental abuse. I mean, imagine if you're that child and you're being forced to suffer this and to suffer that, and you're in a onesie on a hot day, you're forced to stand for 14 hours, and your prison camp guards that happen to be your parents or your father and your father's girlfriend, your prison camp guards torment you in this way. Ha ha ha, look at us, we're enjoying life, we're having an ice cream. Look at you, little Arthur, you're stuck there. I've gone on a ramble there, but yes, that's mental torture. Back to the article. On another occasion, Justin, the father's girlfriend, shook and then slammed Arthur's head on a hard surface while alone with him. She claims, the father's girlfriend claims, that the boy died from self-inflicted injuries, though this is rejected by medical experts. Jurors heard that the father encouraged Arthur's killing in a phone call made less than 3 minutes before his death. Text messages sent to the girlfriend include remarks by the father to fill him in, take his neck off his shoulders, and to get nasty. That's as much of the article that I'm going to go through. The article does give some more details. It comments that Arthur was too weak to hold a glass of water. The family did try to get involved. There was social services went round to visit, but they didn't do anything. It's an ongoing court case, so we can't say that they're guilty because that has not been declared in a court of law as yet. But he died. The boy died. Arthur died when he was alone with this woman here, who allegedly shook him and slammed his head on a hard surface on the ground. And if I'm understanding correctly, she had allegedly done that previously too, and allegedly was encouraged to do so just a few minutes before by the father. I mean, these two people here, Justin and Hughes, they are, if we presume that this court case is giving factual information, if we assume that, which I'm going to, then these two people here, the father, Hughes, and the father's girlfriend, Justin, are absolute scum. Absolute scum. Need to be put away for life. I mean, if it was up to me, I would make it a very, very short life. I would encourage corporal punishment, or rather capital punishment. But that's not going to happen in the United Kingdom. So condolences to the remaining family, to the extended family, and it's such a loss. Prayers for the little boy Arthur Labinjo-Hughes.